on the topic. When and where? The speech took place on April 27th in 1993 at London's very first International Eating Disorder Conference. The audience relatively consisted of psychiatrists, eating disorder specialists, and therapists. The speech was held in the Kensington Town Hall, which is in Kensington, London. Background. So, Diana Frances Spencer, or more commonly known to you as Princess Diana, married into the royal English crown. She married King Charles, who was then Prince Charles, and through this marriage, she gained the title Princess of Wales. Her and Charles went on to have two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. But before Princess Diana was a wife, a mother, or a princess, she was Diana Frances Spencer, the beautiful youngest daughter of Viscount John Spencer and Viscountess Frances Shawn Kidd. Princess Diana had also just recently came out to the public with her battle against bulimia. A year before she gave this speech at the International Eating Disorders Convention, she came out in a biography written by Andrew Morton that she had suffered with bulimia. Significance then and now. The significance then was that eating disorders had just started to become more mainstream. So it was important that Princess Diana used her platform to spread awareness about the disorder, because many people didn't know anything about eating disorders. They didn't know what an eating disorder was, they didn't know what defined an eating disorder, and they didn't understand the vast amount of victims eating disorders had. The significance now is that eating disorders are still incredibly prevalent in today's society. The epidemic of eating disorders is still on a steady rise and affects many people today, especially with social media and plastic surgery.
Early childhood, many had felt they were expected to be perfect, but didn't feel they had the right to express their true feelings to those around them. Feelings of guilt, of self-revulsion, and low personal esteem, creating in them a compulsion to dissolve like a disprin and disappear. The illness they developed became their shameful friend by focusing.
All right. Alrighty, rhetorical devices. Princess Diana uses many rhetorical devices within her speech, but here are three that I found. Antiposis, metaphor, and expletive. Antiposis. If you eat, you live. If you don't, you die. By repeating the first half of each statement, she caught the audience's attention and kept it with this short, simple, yet very powerful message. Metaphor. Yet all of us can help prevent the seeds of this disease from developing. Princess Diana took the abstract idea of an eating disorder and placed it into something that was physical, something people could see and touch, a seed. She compared the eating disorder to a seed in the way that it can be planted in someone and it can grow with the right environment. She used this metaphor to allude to the fact that if we continued to use pro-anorexic tendencies in social media, it will plant a seed in our youth and it will continue to grow. Expletive. Ladies and gentlemen, I have it on very good authority that the quest for our perfection society demands can leave the individual gasping for breath at every turn. By interrupting her usual speech, Princess Diana put a heavy emphasis on her understanding. She emphasized that to the audience that she understood. She understood how it felt to be in the spotlight. She understood how it felt to be ridiculed by the public because she was the Princess of Wales, and there was a lot of conflict and drama and controversy with her marriage and the way she parented her sons, and just whenever she went out into public, there was constantly someone watching. There was constantly societal pressures put onto her. So through this expletive, she enforced the fact that she understood. Ethos, pathos, logos. Princess Diana practiced ethos in her speech and established her credibility actually a year before she gave this speech in the biography written by Andrew Warren. The title was Diana, Her True Story. It became a New York's #1 bestseller, and this established her credibility by not only acknowledging the fact that she had suffered with bulimia, but also that she'd overcome it and she had learned to forgive herself. She practices pathos and makes the audience feel the same by the way she speaks. She speaks incredibly articulately. The way she speaks is incredibly compelling, and she uses short, simple, yet powerful statements, such as the illness they developed became their shameful friend, like what we saw in the video. She used this statement to make the audience feel the way that maybe someone with an eating disorder would feel. Most people have experienced what it feels like to have a shameful friend, so she made the audience feel the same through that statement. Logos. Princess Diana uses logos by briefly speaking about her visit to the Great Ormond Street Hospital for Sick Children. In this brief moment, she speaks about how she got to personally meet with victims of eating disorders, and she learned through this experience that with good support, patient time, and a lot of forgiveness, you can overcome the eating disorder. That just because you have the disorder doesn't mean it defines you. Why will it endure? I believe that this speech will endure because it is incredibly inspiring. Princess Diana gave this speech in 1993, and I watched it in 2024, and I felt inspired. If by some way eating disorders become eradicated, then only then will this speech will become irrelevant. But sadly, I believe that the insatiable hunger for thinness will continue to be a constant in many people's lives. In conclusion, I believe that Princess Diana dutifully used her platform to spread awareness on this taboo subject. She spoke beautifully and intently, making the speech timeless and great. Thank you for listening.